Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Ramya and with me is Renuka, bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches 5G mobile services in India. President Draupadi Murmu presents awards to cleaner states and cities in Swachh Sarvekshan 2022 in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar slams Pakistan over terrorism, says India expert in IT, but its neighbour specializes in international terrorists. India condemns killings of innocent students in blast at educational places in Afghanistan. Islamabad magistrate issues arrest warrant against Imran Khan over controversial remarks against female judge. In women's cricket, India defeats Sri Lanka by 41 runs in opening match of T20 Asia Cup in Bangladesh. And Men in Blue to take on South Africa in second T20 International at Guwahati tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched the 5G services at a function at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. 5G technology will provide seamless coverage, high data rate, low latency and high reliable communication. It will also increase energy efficiency, spectrum efficiency and network efficiency. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi said the launch of 5G services is a gift from the telecom industry to 130 crore Indians and a step towards the new era and also the beginning of infinite opportunities.
आज का ये ऐतिहासिक अवसर एक राष्ट्र के तौर पर, भारत के एक नागरिक के तौर पर हमारे लिए नई प्रेरणा लेकर आया है। क्यों ना हम इस 5G टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग करके भारत के विकास को अभूतपूर्व गति दें। क्यों ना हम इस 5G टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करके अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को बहुत तेजी से विस्तार दें। क्यों ना हम इस 5G टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करके अपनी प्रोडक्टिविटी में रिकॉर्ड वृद्धि करें।
The Prime Minister said, at the time of 2G, 3G and 4G services, India was dependent on other countries for technology, but with the launch of 5G services, the country has created a new history. He added that with 5G, India is setting a global standard in telecom technology for the first time.
5G इंटरनेट का पूरा आर्किटेक्चर बदल कर रख देगा। इसलिए भारत के युवाओं के लिए आज 5G बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी लेकर आया है। विकसित भारत का संकल्प लेकर आगे बढ़ रहा हमारा देश दुनिया के अन्य देशों के साथ किस तरह कदम से कदम मिलाकर चल रहा है।
Touching upon the Vision of Digital India program, the Prime Minister said the initiative has a very big vision of development.
ये भारत की बहुत बड़ी सफलता है। डिजिटल इंडिया अभियान की बहुत बड़ी सफलता है। डिजिटल इंडिया सिर्फ एक नाम नहीं है, ये देश के विकास का बहुत बड़ा विजन है। इस विजन का लक्ष्य है उस टेक्नोलॉजी को आम लोगों तक पहुंचाना जो लोगों के लिए काम करे और लोगों के साथ जुड़कर काम करे।
Mr. Modi mentioned that Digital India's success is based on 4 pillars which include cost of digital device, digital connectivity, data costs and digital first approach, and the government has focused on all of them. Regarding the first pillar, the Prime Minister said that the low cost of devices can only be achieved through Atmanirbharta. He said from 2 mobile manufacturing units in 2014 and 0 exporting of mobile phones, the country now has over 200 mobile factories and has become a mobile phone exporting country worth thousands of crores. On the second pillar of digital connectivity, the Prime Minister informed that internet users have now increased to 80 crores from 6 crores in 2014. Regarding the third pillar, which is the cost of data, Mr. Modi said the industry was given a slew of incentives and policy support was provided to 4G technology for its expansion. He said this brought down the price of data and a data revolution was ushered in the country, and these 3 pillars started showing their multiplier effect everywhere. Prime Minister Modi also said the cost of data in the country is among the lowest in the world. On average, a person in India consumes 14 GB per month, which would have cost about 4,200 rupees per month in 2014, but it now costs 125 to 150 rupees. On the topic of the fourth pillar, the idea of digital first, the Prime Minister recalled the time when a handful of elite class questioned whether the poor would even understand the meaning of digital and doubted their potential. Mr. Modi said India may not have benefited from the first three industrial revolutions, but he is confident that India will take full benefit of the fourth industrial revolution and in fact the country will lead it. The Prime Minister informed that the use of 5G technology will not be limited to speedy internet access, but it has the capability to change lives. Our correspondent reports that 5G services have the potential to create new age businesses, generate additional revenue for enterprises, and provide employment arising from deployment of innovative use cases and technologies. A report.
5G's direct contribution to the Indian economy is estimated to be $450 billion over the next 15 years. The earliest applications of 5G will be in sectors with high digital technology maturity like Industry 4.0, smart cities and fintech. With the introduction of 5G, India is poised to become a leader in fintech. Innovative technologies like UPI and RuPay are being exported to the world to help improve their financial systems. 5G will increase digital literacy of the nation and will be applied in sectors for social development like health and nutrition, education and agriculture. The use of 5G-enabled technologies offers an opportunity to make agricultural practices more sustainable and superior in yield. The launch of the much-awaited 5G services will take India a step closer to being a developed nation as envisaged by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. With Naseem Naqvi, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
The Prime Minister also inspected an exhibition at Pragati Maidan. He declared open the 6th edition of the Indian Mobile Congress IMC, which is being held till 4th of October with the theme of New Digital Universe. Speaking on the occasion, Minister for Communications and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnaw said the 5G technology will bring a fundamental change in various sectors.
डिजिटल सर्विसेज को जन जन तक पहुंचाने का माध्यम है, इसीलिए देश की सामाजिक और आर्थिक उन्नति के लिए एक सुदृढ़ टेलीकॉम सेक्टर की आवश्यकता है कि आज टेलीकॉम सेक्टर एक सनराइज इंडस्ट्री बन के उभर रहा है. देश में 5G सर्विसेज कई सेक्टर्स में फंडामेंटल चेंज आएगा. एजुकेशन, हेल्थ, एग्रीकल्चर, लॉजिस्टिक्स, बैंकिंग, ये ऐसे सेक्टर है जिसमें एक मूलभूत परिवर्तन आएगा. नई नई संभावनाएं उत्पन्न होगी. डिजिटल कैपेबिलिटीज को सेंटर में रख के उसके चारों तरफ नई सर्विसेज क्रिएट होंगी. कम्युनिकेशंस का स्वरूप बदल जाएगा.
Minister of State for Communications Devul Singh Chauhan, Reliance Industry Chairman Mukesh Ambani, Chairman of Aditya Birla Group Kumar Mangala Birla, and founder of Bharati Enterprises Sunil Bharati Mittal also shared their view on the occasion.
President Draupadi Murmu has said that the continuous efforts of central and state governments and all citizens in the last 8 years are behind the success of the Swachh Bharat mission. President Murmu was speaking after presenting the Swachh Survekshan Awards 2022 at a function in New Delhi this evening.
गांधी जयंती के पूर्व संध्या पर इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन करना सराहनीय है. 20वीं सदी से आरंभ में ही बापू ने स्वच्छता के लिए देशवासियों का आह्वान किया था. उन्होंने कहा था, जब तक हम अपने शहरों के लिए का हालत नहीं बदल दे, अपनी पूरी आदतों को नहीं छोड़ते, अपने शौचालयों को नहीं सुधारते, तब तक हमारे लिए स्वराज्य का मूल्य कुछ भी नहीं है. पिछले 8 वर्षों में स्वच्छ भारत मिशन की उपलब्धियों के पीछे केंद्र और राज्य सरकार तथा सभी नागरिकों के निरंतर सहयोग का योगदान रहा है.
Our correspondent reports that Madhya Pradesh got the first position among states, followed by Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. Indore was adjudged the cleanest city for the 6th time in a row, followed by Surat and Navi Mumbai with populations of above 1 lakh. Panchgani in Maharashtra, Patan in Chhattisgarh and Karad in Maharashtra bagged the top 3 awards in the cleanest cities category with a population of below 1 lakh. Haridwar is the cleanest Ganga town in the category with more than 1 lakh population, followed by Varanasi and Rishikesh. Tirupati of Andhra Pradesh got the award for Best City in Safai Mitra Suraksha. Deolali in Maharashtra was adjudged the country's cleanest cantonment board. Tripura got the award in the small state category. Karnataka's Shivamogga won the fastest mover city award. Addressing the gathering, Ms. Murmu said, Swachh Survey is promoting healthy competition among states and cities for cleanliness.
स्वच्छ सर्वेक्षण 2022 के तहत विभिन्न श्रेणियों में पुरस्कार दिए गए हैं. इंदौर शहर ने शानदार प्रदर्शन करते हुए लगातार 6ठी बार प्रथम स्थान प्राप्त किया है. इसलिए उनमें उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई देती हूँ, सराहना करती। बड़े राज्यों के श्रेणी में मध्य प्रदेश तथा छोटे राज्यों के श्रेणी में त्रिपुरा ने प्रथम स्थान हासिल किए हैं, उनको भी बहुत बहुत बधाई। मेरा सुझाव है कि इंदौर शहर के निवासियों द्वारा अपनाए गए जन भागीदारी के मॉडल को पूरे देश में अपनाने का प्रयास होने चाहिए। स्वच्छ भारत सर्वेक्षण द्वारा राज्यों और शहर के बीच स्वच्छता के लिए सशक्त प्रतिस्पर्धा का बढ़ावा मिल रहा है। इस वर्ष के सर्वेक्षण में 4000 से अधिक शहरों में लगभग 9 करोड़ देशवासियों ने भाग लिया है।
The President said the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 was launched on the 1st of October last year with the aim to make all cities garbage-free by 2026. She said, from tomorrow a campaign is being launched in cities to make all citizens aware of segregating wet and dry waste at home for better waste management. She urged everyone, especially the youth, to participate in this campaign and increase awareness about cleanliness in the society.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Saturday took a veiled swipe at Pakistan, saying one of India's neighbours specializes in international terrorists and that countries using terrorism are under pressure due to New Delhi's stand against it at international platforms. While addressing a gathering in Gujarat's Vadodara, he said that it's going on for years, but India could explain to the world that terrorism is terrorism. Today it's being done against India. Tomorrow it will be against the world. The External Affairs Minister also praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi's approach while procuring oil during Russia-Ukraine conflict and the centres dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. As Jaishankar said, during the Russia-Ukraine conflict, PM Modi called both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for a ceasefire for some time so that we can safely evacuate our students. In today's Hotspot section, we bring you news commentary, Role of India in the United Nations.
India's deepening engagement with the United Nations is based on its steadfast commitment to multilateralism and dialogue as the key for achieving shared goals and addressing common challenges faced by the global community, including those related to peacekeeping, sustainable development, poverty eradication, environment, climate change, terrorism, disarmament, human rights, health and pandemics, migration, cybersecurity, space and frontier technologies like artificial intelligence, comprehensive reform of the United Nations, including the reform of the Security Council. While addressing at the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly on 25th September last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about India's significant role in various international issues. He also spoke about the richness of the Indian democracy, the great strides in development in all the sectors of the economy, science and technology, peacekeeping, terrorism, the crisis in Afghanistan, climate change and the COVID crisis.
सेवा परमो धर्म को जीने वाला भारत सीमित संसाधनों के बावजूद भी वैक्सीनेशन डेवलपमेंट और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जी जान से जुटा है। मैं यूएनजीए को ये जानकारी देना चाहता हूं कि भारत ने दुनिया की पहली डीएनए वैक्सीन विकसित कर ली है, जिसे 12 साल की आयु से ज्यादा के सभी लोगों को लगाया जा सकता है। एक और mRNA वैक्सीन अपने डेवलपमेंट के आखिरी चरण में है। भारत के वैज्ञानिक कोरोना की एक नेजल वैक्सीन के निर्माण में भी जुटे हैं। मानवता के प्रति अपने दायित्व को समझते हुए भारत ने एक बार फिर दुनिया के जरूरतमंदों को वैक्सीन देनी शुरू कर दी है।
While delivering the statement at the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said, New India, under the visionary and dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is a confident and resurgent society. Its agenda for our centenary will be achieved through the 5 pledges that we committed to on our Independence Day.
These 5 pledges affirm our age-old outlook that sees the world as one family. We believe that national good and global good can be entirely in harmony. It is this conviction that led us to supply vaccines to over 100 nations. Similarly, our evacuation operations in HADR situations always had room for other nationals in distress. Even as we meet our own development targets, India offers partnerships to our brothers and sisters in Asia, in Africa, and Latin America. And we do so based on their needs and their priorities. Today, the focus is on green growth, better connectivity, digital delivery, and accessible health. Our solidarity is not just in words. You can see them in 700 projects across the world.
India will be completing its tenure as a member of the Security Council this year and has acted as a bridge on some serious but divisive issues confronting the Council. India has focused on concerns such as maritime security, peacekeeping, and counter-terrorism. India's contributions range from providing technology with a human touch to ensuring safety and security of UN peacekeepers. India is prepared to take up greater responsibilities at the UN, but it seeks at the same time to ensure that the injustice faced by the Global South is decisively addressed. As the Ukraine conflict continues to rage, India is on the side of peace and respects the UN Charter and its founding principles. India is working for the collective interest both within the UN and outside in finding an early resolution to the conflict. The Indo-Pacific too witnesses fresh concerns about its stability and its security. The COVID pandemic called into question the over-centralized nature of globalization and has led India to seek greater resilience and reliability of supply chains. Today, India exercises more power around the globe than ever before. India is a hub of pharmaceutical manufacturing for long. India was one of the handful of countries that could invest its own vaccine to face the challenge of COVID-19 pandemic and not only protect its own people, but also export the vaccines at affordable prices to about 100 countries. This has won global appreciation for successfully addressing the global health crisis. India's role in disaster management and in airlifting people in distress from conflict zones also has enhanced India's soft power. India has assisted nationals of other countries as well to evacuate from places such as the crisis-hit Yemen, from where nationals of 41 countries were evacuated. India remains deeply committed to fighting climate change under the UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the Paris Agreement. India has worked with partners on the International Solar Alliance, the One Sun, One World, One Grid initiative, and the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure in her pursuit for climate action and climate justice. India stands ready to support any collective and equitable endeavor to protect the environment and to further global wellness. Lifestyle for Environment, or LIFE, as declared by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Glasgow on the sidelines of COP26, is her homage to Mother Nature. The India-UN Development Partnership Fund was established by Government of India in June 2017 to work with fellow developing countries in a spirit of South-South cooperation by providing support to projects that aim to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) as per their request. A total of $100 million over the next decade has been committed by the Government of India for the India-UN Development Partnership Fund. It adheres to the principles of South-South cooperation and places a priority on national ownership and leadership, equality, sustainability, development of local capacity and mutual benefit. The fund supports projects that are in alignment with the 2030 Agenda. Yoga system today has become an acceptable method of staying physically and mentally healthy for people from various ethnicities, race and religion. Yoga advocates healthy living. The UNGA resolution declared 21st June every year as the International Day of Yoga and was adopted in December 2014. India enjoys strong goodwill and support at the UN and has been elected to several UN bodies. In the last few years, India was elected to the Human Rights Council (HRC), Economic and Social Council (ECOSOC), International Narcotics Control Board (INCB), International Court of Justice (ICJ), UN Board of Auditors, Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights (CESCR), International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea (ITLOS), International Law Commission (ILC), and Joint Inspection Unit (JIU), among others. Currently, India is represented in 22 UN bodies. India was known as an emerging power for decades. The success of India's role in world affairs has now led to India's ascent as an influential global power. Many in India and abroad were not sure earlier as to when India would be a global power. But today, friends and foes of India in the international community do not doubt India's influence in global affairs, including the United Nations.
India has strongly condemned the continued targeting of innocent students at educational places in Afghanistan. In a tweet, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi expressed sadness on Friday terror attack at the Kaj Educational Center in Dasht-e-Barchi of Kabul. He extended India's condolences to the families of the victims. The death count from a suicide bombing on a Kabul classroom has risen to 35, the UN said on Saturday. Shiite Hazara women who bore the brunt of the attack staged a defiant protest against the genocide of their minority community. On Friday, a suicide attacker blew himself up in a Kabul study hall as hundreds of pupils were taking tests in preparation for university entrance exams in the city's Dasht-e-Barchi area. The latest casualty figures from the attack number at least 35 fatalities with an additional 82 wounded, said the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, UNAMA, in a statement. More than 20 of the killed were girls and women, it said. The UN mission's casualty figure is higher than the toll Kabul authorities have given. Since returning to power last August, security has been a sensitive topic for Taliban, and the hardliners have often been keen to downplay attacks challenging their regime. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AI News Alerts.
A magistrate of Islamabad's Margala police station has issued an arrest warrant for Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI chief Imran Khan on Saturday. The area magistrate issued an arrest warrant in the case registered on the 20th of August against the PTI chief for his remarks regarding additional district and sessions judge Zeba Chaudhry. The FIR includes 4 sections of the Pakistan Penal Code PPC, including 506, punishment for criminal intimidation, 504, intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of the peace, 189, threat of injury to public servant, and 188, disobedience to order duly promulgated by public servant. The former Prime Minister is facing contempt charges for his controversial remarks about additional district and sessions judge. The court has issued an arrest warrant for Khan due to his non-appearance in court. The Islamabad High Court, IHC, issued the warrant hours after the former Prime Minister submitted an affidavit in a contempt case against him. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf chief Imran Khan submitted an affidavit in the Islamabad High Court, IHC, on Saturday in a contempt case for threatening additional district and sessions judge Zeba Chaudhry. In the affidavit, Mr. Khan stated that he had realized he might have crossed a line at a public rally on the 20th of August in the capital, according to local media. Mr. Khan also said that he would fully follow what he said before the court in the last hearing and added that was ready to take further action to satisfy the court in this regard. The ex-premier further said that he was willing to apologize if the judge thought that he crossed a red line. Mr. Imran Khan's affidavit has come after a day he appeared before an Islamabad lower court to personally apologize to additional district and sessions judge Zeba Chaudhry, who was not present there at the time, as per the publication.
US President Joe Biden has warned Russia that the United States will not be intimidated by reckless threats after President Vladimir Putin annexed 4 occupied regions of Ukraine. The US President said that America and its allies are not going to be intimidated. America is fully prepared with our NATO allies to defend every single inch of NATO territory, he said. However, top US national security officials said while there was a chance of Moscow resorting to nuclear weapons, there did not appear to be an imminent threat. In Iran, Intelligence Ministry said on Friday that 9 foreign nationals had been arrested in connection with the ongoing protests in the country. The ministry in a statement said that citizens from Germany, Poland, Italy, France, the Netherlands, Sweden and other countries had been detained. Iran has been rocked by widespread protests for 3 weeks. Protesters have often met with violence from security forces, leading to dozens of recorded deaths. Protests began 3 weeks ago, triggered by the death of 22-year-old Kurdish woman Mahsa Amini. She had been arrested by Iran's morality police for allegedly wearing the mandatory Islamic headscarf too loosely.
The cyclone Ian is lashing South Carolina in its second U.S. landfall after carving a swath of deadly destruction across the state of Florida. Local media reports that it struck near Georgetown, about 60 miles northeast of Charleston, packing maximum sustained winds of 85 miles an hour after regaining strength Thursday evening over the Atlantic. It was expected to dissipate by Saturday night near the border of North Carolina and Virginia. More than 365,000 electricity customers in the Carolinas were without power by late Friday. The storm's high winds caused the Charleston International Airport to shut down for the day. Florida's emergency officials have said that 21 deaths reported as of Friday morning. Ian was one of the strongest storms ever to hit the U.S. when it struck Florida as a Category 4 hurricane on Wednesday. South Korea's military in a statement said that North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles in the wee hours on Saturday, marking the 4th round of such tests in a week. The statement said that it had detected 2 short-range missiles fired from the Sunan area in Pyongyang into the East Sea. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the military is maintaining the utmost readiness in close coordination with the United States. Japanese Vice Defense Minister Toshiro Ino called the missile launches as one-sidedly and persistently escalating provocations.
Haryana lead the National Games 2022 medal table with 16 medals, including 9 golds, 3 silver and 4 bronze. Hosts Gujarat won the first gold medal, clinching the men's table tennis team title after beating Maharashtra in the finals. Top Indian athletes weightlifter Mirabai Chanu, shooter Elevaner Varivalan and fencer Bhavani Devi lived up to the expectations as they all bagged gold medals in their respective events on Friday.
In women's cricket, India defeated Sri Lanka by 41 runs in their opening match of T20 Asia Cup at Sylhet in Bangladesh. Chasing a target of 151 runs, Sri Lanka were bundled out for 109 runs in 18.2 overs. Earlier put into bat, India posted 150 runs in the stipulated 20 overs. Jemima Rodriguez was the top scorer with 76 runs and Harmanpreet Kaur contributed 33 runs. In the opening game of the tournament earlier in the day, defending champions Bangladesh beat Thailand by 9 wickets.
And a quick look at the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches 5G mobile services in India. President Draupadi Murmu presents awards to cleanest states and cities in Swachh Survekshan 2022 in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar slams Pakistan over terrorism, says India expert in IT, but its neighbours specializes in international terrorists. India condemns killing of innocent students in blast at educational places in Afghanistan. Islamabad magistrate issues arrest warrant against Imran Khan over controversial remarks against female judge. In women's cricket, India defeats Sri Lanka by 41 runs in opening match of T20 Asia Cup in Bangladesh, and Men in Blue to take on South Africa in second T20 International at Guwahati tomorrow.
And in news just in cricket, Indian team will play their second T20 against South Africa tomorrow at Barswara Cricket Stadium, Guwahati. The team will be led by Rohit Sharma, while South Africa team by Temba Bavuma. The match will start at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In the first match played on the 28th of September, the host defeated visitors by 8 wickets at Greenfield International Stadium in Thiruvananthapuram.
And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Botswana. that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.